Most people over 40 are unknowingly sabotaging their results with the same 3 weight loss mistakes. If you've been dieting, exercising, and still not seeing progress, chances are you're making at least one of these critical errors, and they could be the reason your metabolism feels stuck. Turning 40 is often a wake-up call for health. For some, it comes in the form of a routine doctor's appointment where blood pressure, cholesterol, or blood sugar numbers are creeping up. For others, it's as simple as noticing that the same genes no longer button the way they did last year, even though nothing about your daily habits seems to have changed. What's happening? Why does weight loss after 40 feel so much harder? The truth is, your body does not operate the same way it did in your 20s or 30s. Hormones shift, muscle mass naturally declines, and your metabolism slows, sometimes by as much as 5% per decade after age 30. That means if you're eating and exercising the same way you did 10 years ago, you may be unintentionally setting yourself up for frustration. The rules of the game change after 40, and if you don't adapt, it's easy to fall into the same traps millions of people struggle with. Let's break down why this happens. First, metabolism. Your resting metabolic rate, RMR, is the number of calories your body burns at rest just to keep you alive, breathing, pumping blood, repairing cells. As you age, RMR naturally declines because of 2 main reasons. Loss of lean muscle mass. Muscle tissue is metabolically active, meaning it burns more calories at rest than fat. After 40, a process called sarcopenia, age-related muscle loss, begins to accelerate. Without strength training, people lose about 3 to 8% of their muscle mass each decade after 30. Hormonal changes. Women often experience shifts in estrogen and progesterone during perimenopause and menopause, while men see gradual declines in testosterone. These hormones influence not just energy levels, but also fat storage, appetite, and where your body tends to hold weight, like the belly. Second, lifestyle. By 40, most people juggle demanding careers, family responsibilities, and higher stress. Long hours at a desk, late-night work, and reduced sleep compound the physical changes, creating a perfect storm that makes weight loss harder. Here's the kicker. Despite all this, the biggest barriers aren't just biology. They are the choices people make when trying to lose weight after 40. And that's where the 3 common mistakes come in. Too many people think the solution is simply eating less and moving more, the same advice they've always heard. But after 40, those standard methods can backfire. Instead of jump-starting fat loss, they slow metabolism even further, strip away muscle, and increase fatigue. In other words, doing more of what worked before may now be the very thing that stalls your progress. This is why people often say, "I'm eating healthier than ever, exercising more than I did in my 30s, but the scale won't budge." It's not a lack of willpower, it's following outdated strategies that don't align with the realities of a body over 40. In this series, we're going to uncover the 3 most common mistakes people over 40 make in their weight loss journey. More importantly, you'll learn how to fix them in a way that works with your body instead of against it. By the end, you'll have a clearer roadmap not just to lose weight, but to regain energy, protect your long-term health, and feel stronger than you did in your 30s. So, what are these mistakes? Let's set the stage. Mistake number 1, over-restricting calories and relying on fad diets. This slows metabolism, increases cravings, and leads to rebound weight gain. Mistake number 2, neglecting strength training and focusing only on cardio. This accelerates muscle loss, which makes fat loss nearly impossible to sustain. Mistake number 3, ignoring hormones, stress, and sleep. These invisible factors can sabotage even the most disciplined diet and exercise plan. Each of these mistakes comes from a good place, people trying to do the right things, but when applied without considering age-related changes, they often backfire. The good news is, with the right adjustments, weight loss after 40 is not only possible, it can be more rewarding and sustainable than the quick-fix approaches of youth. When most people over 40 notice the scale creeping upward, their first instinct is simple: eat less. After all, it worked before, right? In your 20s, skipping meals or slashing calories might have led to fast results. In your 30s, a few weeks of cutting carbs or trying the latest detox may have helped you fit into a smaller size. But after 40, things are different. And ironically, The very strategy of eat less, lose weight can actually keep you from losing anything at all. Why less food doesn't always mean less weight. Let's start with the basics. Weight loss is often described as a simple equation of calories in versus calories out. If you consume fewer calories than your body needs, you lose weight. On paper, that's true, but it oversimplifies how the human body works. Your body isn't a calculator, it's a living, adaptive machine. When you consistently cut calories too aggressively, your body doesn't just dip into fat stores for fuel, it adapts by slowing down your metabolism. This adaptation is a survival mechanism. From an evolutionary standpoint, your body interprets a big calorie drop as potential famine. To protect itself, it lowers energy expenditure. You burn fewer calories at rest, your body becomes more efficient at holding onto fat, and you may even feel more fatigued, making it harder to exercise or stay active. For someone over 40, this effect is amplified. Remember, your resting metabolic rate, RMR, is already declining with age due to muscle loss. Extreme dieting speeds this process up by stripping away even more lean tissue. Instead of fueling your muscles, your body starts breaking them down for energy, which further reduces metabolism. It's a vicious cycle. The more you restrict, the harder it becomes to lose weight. The diet roller coaster. Think about how many people jump from one fad diet to the next. Keto, intermittent fasting, juice cleanses, detox teas, low-fat, low-carb, the list goes on. Each promises rapid results, and some deliver, at first. But here's what usually happens. The initial calorie cut leads to fast weight loss, much of it from water and glycogen, stored carbs. The body adapts, metabolism slows, and progress stalls. Frustration sets in. Hunger increases, cravings intensify, and energy crashes. Old eating habits return, weight comes back, sometimes more than before. This is known as weight cycling or yo-yo dieting, and research shows it's particularly harmful for long-term health. Not only does it make fat loss harder over time, but it also increases risks for heart disease, insulin resistance, and poor bone health, issues already more common after 40. Why restriction backfires after 40? You might be wondering, but isn't some calorie reduction necessary to lose weight? The answer is yes, but here's where people go wrong. It's not about eating as little as possible, it's about eating the right amount with the right quality. After 40, your body's needs change. Protein becomes more important. With sarcopenia, age-related muscle loss, in play, your protein needs are higher to maintain and build muscle. Restrictive diets often cut protein too low, accelerating muscle decline. Micronutrients matter more. Nutrient deficiencies, like vitamin D, calcium, and magnesium, are linked to bone loss, poor recovery, and fatigue. Fad diets that cut whole food groups make these deficiencies more likely. Hormonal balance is sensitive. For women in perimenopause or menopause, overly restrictive diets can worsen symptoms like hot flashes, mood swings, and sleep disturbances. For men, low-calorie intake can further reduce testosterone, weakening muscle and energy levels. The metabolic slowdown myth versus reality. You may have heard the claim, dieting ruins your metabolism permanently. That's not entirely true. Your metabolism can bounce back. But repeated cycles of crash dieting make it harder each time. Studies on the Biggest Loser contestants revealed that years after the show, their resting metabolic rates remained significantly lower than expected, even after regaining weight. This means extreme dieting doesn't just slow progress in the short term. It can create long-lasting metabolic adaptations that make weight loss harder the next time you try. A smarter way to approach nutrition after 40. So if extreme restriction doesn't work, what does? The key is sustainable, strategic eating that supports both fat loss and muscle preservation. Here are the fundamentals. Aim for a moderate calorie deficit. Instead of slashing 800 to 1,000 calories per day, focus on 300 to 500 fewer calories. This allows steady, sustainable fat loss without triggering extreme metabolic adaptation. Prioritize protein. Experts recommend 1.2 to 1.6 grams of protein per kilogram of body weight for people over 40, especially those trying to lose weight. Protein not only supports muscle, but also keeps you full and stabilizes blood sugar. Balance your macros. Carbs are not the enemy. Your brain and muscles rely on them. Focus on whole food carbs like fruits, vegetables, legumes, and whole grains. Include healthy fats, avocados, nuts, olive oil, for hormone support. Don't skip meals. Intermittent fasting can work for some, but many over 40 find it worsens energy crashes and overeating later in the day. Stable, consistent meals often work better. Eat for nourishment, not just calories. Think of food as fuel for your metabolism. The more nutrient-dense your diet, the better your body performs and recovers. Real-life example. Consider two women, both 45, both wanting to lose 20 pounds. Susan follows a detox cleanse of 1,000 calories per day, cutting out carbs completely. She loses 6 pounds in the first 2 weeks, but by week 4, she's exhausted, craving sugar, and her progress stalls. Frustrated, she binges on pizza and wine, regains 8 pounds, and feels defeated. Linda creates a modest 400-calorie daily deficit by adjusting portion sizes and cutting processed snacks. She increases protein at each meal and adds more vegetables. She loses 1 to 2 pounds per week, keeps her energy high, and after 3 months, she's down 15 pounds, without feeling deprived. Which scenario sounds more sustainable? The takeaway for mistake number 1. The biggest mistake people over 40 make is thinking eating less is always better. In reality, eating too little slows metabolism, sacrifices muscle, and sets you up for weight regain. The smarter path is fueling your body with the right balance, enough calories, plenty of protein, nutrient-rich carbs, and fats, while creating a moderate, sustainable deficit. Remember, your goal after 40 isn't just to weigh less, it's to protect muscle, support hormones, and maintain a metabolism that works for you long-term. If cutting calories too aggressively is mistake number 1, mistake number 2 is just as common, and in some ways, even more damaging, focusing only on cardio while ignoring strength training. For decades, the conventional wisdom about weight loss has been eat less, move more. And when most people think about moving more, they picture running, cycling, aerobics classes, or hours on the treadmill. Cardio burns calories, so it must be the best tool for fat loss, right? Well, not quite, especially after 40. The role of muscle in metabolism. To understand why strength training is essential, we need to talk about muscle and metabolism. Muscle is metabolically active tissue, meaning it requires energy just to exist. The more muscle you have, the more calories you burn, even while sitting on the couch. Here's the problem. Starting around age 30, adults naturally lose 3 to 8% of their muscle mass per decade. After 40, this decline accelerates, and after 50, it speeds up even more. This process, called sarcopenia, isn't just about strength, it directly affects metabolism. Less muscle means fewer calories burned at rest, which makes fat gain more likely even if your diet doesn't change. Now consider what happens if your primary form of exercise is cardio. Yes, cardio burns calories while you're doing it, but it doesn't do much to build or preserve muscle. In fact, if you combine lots of cardio with calorie restriction, your body may actually break down muscle for energy. The result? You may lose weight on the scale, but much of it comes from muscle, not fat. And as soon as you stop, the lost fat creeps back while muscle stays gone. Why cardio alone fails after 40? Don't get me wrong, cardio has benefits. It supports heart health, improves endurance, reduces stress, and can help burn calories. But relying on cardio alone for weight loss after 40 is a major mistake. Here's why. Short-term burn versus long-term burn. Cardio burns calories only while you're doing it. Strength training, on the other hand, builds muscle that increases your metabolic rate 24/7. Muscle preservation. Cardio doesn't provide the stimulus your body needs to hold onto muscle. Without strength training, dieting plus cardio accelerates muscle loss. Injury risk. High-impact cardio like running can be harder on joints after 40, especially if you've lost muscle support. Strength training actually protects joints by strengthening surrounding muscles and connective tissues. Shape and tone. Cardio may shrink your body, but strength training reshapes it. That's why people who lift look lean rather than just smaller. Strength training, the antidote to midlife weight gain. So, what's the solution? Prioritizing strength training. After 40, building and maintaining muscle isn't just optional, it's essential for weight loss, health, and longevity. Studies show that adults who strength train regularly have significantly higher resting metabolic rates than those who don't. They also have better insulin sensitivity, meaning they handle carbs more effectively, lower risks of osteoporosis, and improved balance, critical for preventing falls later in life. For women especially, strength training can be transformative. Many avoid it, fearing they'll bulk up. But in reality, the hormonal changes after 40, like declining estrogen and testosterone, make gaining large amounts of muscle very difficult. Instead, strength training gives women a toned, sculpted look while boosting metabolism and protecting bone density. How strength training works for weight loss. Here's why strength training outshines cardio for fat loss after 40. It builds lean muscle. Every pound of muscle burns an estimated 6 to 10 calories per day at rest. That may not sound like much, but add up 5 to 10 pounds of muscle, and you're burning hundreds of extra calories each week without even trying. It increases EPOC, afterburn effect. After a tough strength session, your body continues to burn extra calories for hours as it repairs muscles. Cardio doesn't have the same prolonged effect. It preserves muscle during fat loss. When you create a calorie deficit, strength training signals your body to hold on to muscle while using fat for fuel. This means the weight you lose comes from the right place. What strength training looks like. The good news is, strength training doesn't have to mean lifting heavy barbells like a bodybuilder, unless you want to. It simply means performing resistance-based movements that challenge your muscles. Options include free weights, dumbbells, kettlebells, barbells, machines, gym-based equipment targeting specific muscles, bodyweight exercises, squats, push-ups, planks, lunges, resistance bands, portable and joint-friendly tools for building strength. For beginners, even 2 sessions per week can deliver major benefits. Focus on compound movements like squats, deadlifts, rows, and presses that work multiple muscle groups at once. These exercises mimic real-life movements, making you stronger and more functional in daily life. Real-life example. Take 2 men, both 50, each trying to lose 30 pounds. Mark jogs 5 days a week for 45 minutes. In the first 2 months, he loses 10 pounds. But by month 3, his progress stalls. He's tired, his knees ache, and he notices his arms and legs look smaller, but his belly fat remains. David lifts weights 3 days a week and walks on off days. In the first 2 months, he loses only 6 pounds, but he feels stronger, his clothes fit better, and his waist shrinks. By month 6, he's down 20 pounds, most of it fat, and his energy is higher than it's been in years. Which approach is more sustainable? David's, without question. The hormonal connection. Strength training also has a powerful effect on hormones. For men, lifting weights boosts testosterone naturally, which helps with fat loss, energy, and libido. For women, resistance training can increase growth hormone and improve estrogen balance, which helps reduce belly fat and support mood. Meanwhile, excessive cardio can increase cortisol, the stress hormone, which promotes fat storage, especially around the midsection. This is why many people who do endless cardio still struggle with belly fat. They are spiking cortisol while neglecting the muscle-building benefits of strength training. The takeaway for mistake number 2. The second major mistake people over 40 make is relying only on cardio and neglecting strength training. This approach may deliver short-term weight loss, but it sacrifices muscle, slows metabolism, and often leads to long-term frustration. You can eat well, exercise consistently, and even lift weights, but if your hormones, sleep, and stress levels are out of balance, your weight loss progress can stall completely. This is the third mistake almost everyone over 40 makes, underestimating the invisible factors that control fat storage, hunger, and metabolism. Why hormones matter after 40. Hormones are the body's messengers. They regulate everything from appetite and energy to fat storage and muscle growth. When you're younger, your body is more resilient, and hormonal fluctuations don't affect you as much. But after 40, natural changes in key hormones make weight loss harder. Here are the most important ones to consider. Insulin. This hormone helps regulate blood sugar. Over time, poor diet, stress, and aging can make your cells less responsive to insulin, a condition called insulin resistance. This leads to higher blood sugar, more fat storage, especially around the belly, and eventually increases the risk of type 2 diabetes. Cortisol, known as the stress hormone. Cortisol rises when you're under pressure, not sleeping enough, or over-exercising. Chronically high cortisol promotes fat storage, particularly in the abdominal area. It also breaks down muscle, further slowing metabolism. Estrogen and progesterone, for women. As women enter perimenopause and menopause, estrogen and progesterone levels decline. Low estrogen can trigger fat redistribution, often shifting weight gain to the belly. It also affects sleep, mood, and bone health. Testosterone, for men and women. Testosterone helps build muscle, regulate metabolism, and support energy levels. Men see gradual declines starting in their 30s, while women experience smaller but significant decreases, especially after menopause. Low testosterone makes it harder to build muscle and burn fat. Thyroid hormones. The thyroid gland regulates metabolic rate. Even mild changes in thyroid function can lead to fatigue, weight gain, and slower calorie burning. Subclinical hypothyroidism is more common after 40, particularly in women. When these hormones are imbalanced, your body essentially fights weight loss. That's why simply eating less or exercising more often isn't enough. You have to support your hormones through lifestyle. The overlooked role of sleep. Think back to a time you pulled an all-nighter or had just a few hours of rest. The next day, you probably craved junk food, felt sluggish, and struggled to focus. That's no coincidence. Sleep is one of the most powerful regulators of appetite and metabolism. After 40, sleep quality often declines due to hormonal changes, stress, or lifestyle habits. This creates a ripple effect on weight. Less sleep equals more hunger. Sleep deprivation lowers leptin, the hormone that signals fullness, and raises ghrelin, the hormone that signals hunger. The result: you feel hungrier, even if you've eaten enough. Less sleep equals more cravings. Poor sleep affects the brain's reward system, making you crave high-calorie, sugary foods. Less sleep equals slower metabolism. Lack of sleep reduces insulin sensitivity and increases cortisol, pushing your body to store fat instead of burning it. Studies show that adults who sleep less than 6 hours per night are significantly more likely to be overweight than those who sleep 7 to 9 hours. And yet, many people over 40 push sleep aside, treating it as optional. Stress, the silent saboteur. Stress is another hidden factor that undermines weight loss. By 40, most people juggle demanding careers, aging parents, kids, financial responsibilities, and more. Chronic stress keeps cortisol levels elevated, which not only promotes belly fat but also triggers emotional eating and cravings for comfort foods, suppresses digestion, leading to bloating and gut issues, interferes with sleep, creating a vicious cycle. Some people even combine stress with overexercising. They think harder workouts will compensate for poor diet or stress eating, but intense exercise while stressed raises cortisol even more, leading to exhaustion and stalled progress. How hormones, sleep, and stress interact. These three factors are deeply connected. Poor sleep increases stress and disrupts hormones. High stress worsens sleep and raises cortisol. Hormonal changes make it harder to sleep and manage stress. It's a cycle many people over 40 are stuck in, often without realizing it's sabotaging their fat loss. Real-life example. Take Carla, age 47. She eats a healthy diet and does cardio 5 days a week, but she works long hours, sleeps only 5 hours a night, and feels constantly stressed. Despite her efforts, she can't lose the 15 pounds around her midsection. Why? Her high cortisol levels are promoting belly fat, her poor sleep is increasing hunger hormones, and her low estrogen during perimenopause is making fat storage more likely. Until she addresses these factors, no diet or workout will fully work. Now compare Melissa, age 49. She also wants to lose 15 pounds. Instead of focusing only on diet, she sets a bedtime routine, reduces late-night screen time, and practices yoga twice a week. She lifts weights 3 times a week and manages stress with journaling. After 3 months, she's down 10 pounds, most of it from her waistline. The difference isn't willpower, it's hormonal balance. Practical fixes for hormones, sleep, and stress. Here's the good news. While you can't stop aging, you can make lifestyle changes that support your hormones and reduce the damage of stress and poor sleep. Prioritize sleep like nutrition. Aim for 7 to 9 hours. Create a calming bedtime routine. Dim lights, avoid screens. Keep your bedroom cool and dark. Manage stress daily. Meditation, yoga, deep breathing, or even a 10-minute walk can lower cortisol. Don't wait for stress to overwhelm you. Build relief into your routine. Balance exercise. Combine strength training with moderate cardio and active recovery. Too much high-intensity exercise can raise cortisol. Balance is key. Eat for hormonal health. Get enough protein to support muscle and stabilize blood sugar. Include healthy fats, avocado, nuts, olive oil, for hormone production. Avoid processed sugar and refined carbs that spike insulin. Get tested. If you suspect thyroid, testosterone, or menopausal hormone issues, consult a doctor. Sometimes we've uncovered the 3 most common mistakes people over 40 make when trying to lose weight. Over-relying on diet restriction, cutting calories too harshly, slowing metabolism, and accelerating muscle loss. Ignoring strength training, focusing only on cardio, which sacrifices muscle and stalls long-term fat loss. Neglecting hormones, sleep, and stress, overlooking the invisible forces that dictate metabolism, hunger, and fat storage. Now, let's talk about how to fix them. Because the good news is this: weight loss after 40 is possible, not just possible, but sustainable, energizing, and life-changing if you approach it differently. Building a smarter strategy after 40. The key to weight loss after 40 isn't willpower or endless restriction, it's alignment. You need to align your nutrition, exercise, and lifestyle with the realities of an aging body. Instead of fighting biology, you work with it. Let's put the pieces together. Step 1. Redefine nutrition. Instead of starving yourself, fuel your body in a way that supports both fat loss and health. Moderate calorie deficit. Aim for 300 to 500 fewer calories per day, not drastic cuts. This creates slow, steady fat loss without metabolic backlash. Protein first. Every meal should include high-quality protein: chicken, fish, eggs, beans, tofu. Target at least 1.2 to 1.6 grams per kilogram of body weight daily. Protein preserves muscle, boosts satiety, and stabilizes blood sugar. Quality carbs. Choose whole grains, fruits, and vegetables. These provide fiber, vitamins, and sustained energy. Avoid highly processed carbs that spike insulin. Healthy fats. Include avocados, nuts, seeds, and olive oil. These support hormone production and keep you full. Mindful eating. Slow down, chew thoroughly, and tune into hunger cues. At 40 plus, digestion often slows, and mindful eating prevents overeating. This isn't a diet you start and stop. It's a long-term way of eating that keeps your metabolism healthy and your body nourished. Step 2. Prioritize strength training. If you want to lose fat after 40, think muscle first. Lift at least twice a week. 3 sessions is ideal, but 2 can still make a big impact. Focus on compound lifts. Squats, deadlifts, push-ups, rows, and presses engage multiple muscle groups, boosting calorie burn and functional strength. Progressive overload. Gradually increase weight, representatives, or intensity over time to keep challenging your muscles. Mix it up. Include resistance bands, dumbbells, or even bodyweight circuits. Variety prevents plateaus and keeps things interesting. The payoff? Not only will you lose fat more effectively, but you'll also look leaner, protect your bones, and stay strong for decades to come. Step 3. Balance cardio the right way. Cardio isn't the enemy. It's just not the main weapon. Use it strategically. Low to moderate cardio. Walking, cycling, swimming, or hiking help burn calories without stressing joints or spiking cortisol. Short HIIT sessions. High-intensity interval training can be effective, but limit it to 1 to 2 times per week. Too much raises cortisol. Move daily. Beyond workouts, focus on NEAT, non-exercise activity thermogenesis. All the calories you burn just moving through life. Park farther away. Take the stairs. Walk during phone calls. Step 4. Optimize sleep and stress. This is the most overlooked but most powerful step. Without it, progress stalls. Set a sleep schedule. Go to bed and wake up at consistent times. Aim for 7 to 9 hours. Create a sleep-friendly environment. Keep your bedroom dark, cool, and screen-free. Manage stress proactively. Don't wait until you're overwhelmed. Schedule stress relief into your day. Meditation, yoga, journaling, or even 10 minutes of deep breathing can lower cortisol. Unplug. Reduce screen time before bed and during meals. Constant stimulation keeps your nervous system in stress mode. Step 5. Support hormonal health. While some hormonal shifts are inevitable, lifestyle can make a huge difference. Exercise smart. Strength training boosts testosterone and growth hormone. Moderate cardio improves insulin sensitivity. Eat hormone-friendly foods. Cruciferous vegetables, broccoli, cauliflower, healthy fats, and fiber help balance estrogen and support detoxification. Limit alcohol and sugar. Both disrupt hormone balance and increase belly fat. Get medical support if needed. If symptoms like extreme fatigue, sudden weight gain, or hot flashes persist, talk to a doctor. Thyroid support, HRT, hormone replacement therapy, or other treatments may be appropriate. Putting it all together, let's paint the picture of what a sustainable over 40 weight loss plan looks like. Nutrition: 3 balanced meals per day, each with protein, colorful vegetables, and healthy fats. Snacks, if needed, are nutrient-dense, like Greek yogurt or nuts. No crash dieting, no skipping entire food groups. Exercise: strength training 3 times a week, daily walking, and 1 session of cardio or HIIT. Exercise isn't punishment, it's about building resilience. Lifestyle: a nightly wind-down routine, 7 to 8 hours of sleep, and daily stress management, stretching, meditation, or simply quiet time. Mindset: weight loss isn't just about looking good, it's about health, energy, and longevity. The goal is progress, not perfection. The real payoff: when you avoid the 3 big mistakes, here's what happens. Instead of yo-yo dieting, you steadily lose fat while keeping muscle. Instead of feeling drained, you feel energized and stronger. Instead of battling cravings and stress, you feel balanced and in control. And perhaps most importantly, you set yourself up for long-term health. The habits that help you lose weight after 40 also reduce your risk of diabetes, heart disease, osteoporosis, and cognitive decline. This isn't just about the next 6 months. It's about the next 20 years. Final words. Most people over 40 are unknowingly sabotaging their results with the same 3 weight loss mistakes. They restrict calories too much, rely only on cardio, and overlook hormones, sleep, and stress. If you've been struggling, it's not your fault. You've simply been using the wrong playbook. But now, you have a better one. By fueling your body instead of starving it, lifting to build muscle, and supporting your hormones and recovery, you can achieve lasting fat loss and a stronger, healthier body than you've had in years. Remember this: after 40, weight loss isn't about doing more, it's about doing the right things. And when you do, not only will the scale finally move, but you'll feel younger, more vibrant, and more alive than ever.